What's up, everybody? It's been a while. 5 years, I think. I think the last time I made a video, I visited San Antonio and went to Hog Wild and all that kind of stuff, and I showed you what I bought there. And the amount of vinyl that I have bought since then to right now is probably pretty slim. I would say you could probably count it on maybe two hands, maybe three hands. Maybe you could count it on three hands, but certainly probably no more than that. So what's the point of making this video? Good question. Maybe I was inspired by Bo, Earhead6. He was showing off what he found recently, and he was also showing off his really great card collection, which is kind of what I have transitioned into. I have kind of started to collect more baseball cards, more baseball memorabilia. And do I still like music? Yeah, of course I still like music. And I still like vinyl, but really realistically, these days I'm all about convenience in most every capacity, and that especially comes with music. I no longer have the time, patience, or to be perfectly frank, the desire to play a record. To me, it's tedious. You've got to sit there and flip sides. I'm on the move. I'm a father. My daughter's got special needs. So it's something that I find to be more of a chore than a pleasure, the way it once was. So there's nothing better than having it streaming on my phone and going and doing whatever and having it right there. It's something that I play often. It's something that, of course, I still enjoy, and my daughter enjoys it too. I've kind of piqued her curiosity with music, and she's a big Beatles fan already at her young age, and enjoys the Ramones and Husker Du and things like that. So I must be doing something right at this point, right? But as far as purchasing vinyl, you couldn't be bothered with it anymore, and that's not a slight to people that are. If you still enjoy it and you're getting that satisfaction, and you buy records and you play records and you dig records and you like records, great. I don't dislike records. It's just, to me, at this point, the convenience thing is paramount above everything else. And I was already kind of moving in that direction, and the pandemic just kind of sped things up a little bit, right? It just kind of really kind of refocused, I think, my attention and what it should be focused on. Certainly not saying it wasn't there before, but I think when you're in something like this and you have a chance to kind of reflect and do some inner searching, so to speak, I think you find a lot out about yourself, and you really kind of step back and look at what you're putting emphasis on and what the overall goal is. For some people, they just like to have records to have records. It looks cool. It's aesthetic to sit on the shelf when you have cocktail parties or people over. They say, oh yeah, you got records, that's cool. Other people genuinely like the way it sounds, and I understand you. It's a much more warmer experience or whatnot for listening to music. Other people, I think a lot of it is keeping up with the Joneses, and I think that some people buy records just to flex, right? Just to say, oh, well, I have this on vinyl, or, oh, you have it on CD, or you stream. It's kind of like, it's a classist system, so to speak, right? It's a better than you kind of a situation, I think, in some regards. And that's a shame. You shouldn't look down on people in general, but especially something that's so trivial as music. And, some of the best relationships that I've built have been, oh, hey, well, you like these guys? And, it blossoms into a great friendship. So don't be so quick to put down somebody else's musical preferences, because at the end of the day, who cares? The other thing about it is where do you keep this volume of stuff? Because at the end of the day, that's what this is just stuff. I recently went through a record purge, and I'm still doing it now, of stuff that I've been collecting since 2003 or 4, somewhere in that ballpark. And here it is, close to 20 years later, and there are records that I have on my shelf that I've had, if not 20 years, then definitely 15 plus, that I've never played. I have no interest in playing. And what's that old saying that if you haven't used it in a year, you're not going to use it? Well, what does that mean about something that you've had for 15 years or longer? Probably not going to listen to it. Probably it's not going to hold any interest, and there's no reason for it to taking up physical inventory someplace, right? So with that, you just get bogged down with this stuff. Like I said at the beginning, it just becomes more of a chore, right? It becomes more of a chore moving this stuff around, cataloging this stuff, alphabetizing this. Who am I kidding? I don't alphabetize records. But it just becomes this daunting task that's just not fun. And again, you shift or at least I did, and you just look at this stuff for what it is. It's stuff. It's great music, but you don't need it on CD, vinyl, and streaming. You just don't. It's silly. And that was the first thing. It's like, I don't need 3 copies of the same thing. You just don't. And then the other part is, okay, Grateful Dead stuff. Obviously, those of you know me, I'm a big Grateful Dead fan. Grateful Dead isn't what am I trying to say here? The preferred listening experience of that band is probably not on vinyl, just because it's so cumbersome. Like, the dick pics that they release. It's 7 and 8 sides of records, which is just, it's absurd. Just buy the 2 or 3 CD set and call it a day. In the price tag on it too, $100+ just doesn't interest me. And so there's that aspect. And the other aspect of it as well is, at the end of the day, are you collecting this because you're going to listen to this, or are you collecting it because it looks good on the shelf and you want to show off to other people or whatnot? To me, I like music. I enjoy music. I don't see the reason on spending $20, $25, $30 on a new album when I can stream it for a monthly subscription fee. And I'm not shilling for Apple or anything like that at all. But to me, it makes more economical sense, and the convenience. And again, the pandemic is just kind of being surrounded by all that stuff early on when we were in quarantine, and you just kind of got to look around and you kind of put things in perspective. And as I've gotten older and as I've become a father, it's just one of those things that you really start valuing the right things. You really start valuing having a good home, having a nice home, versus having, I don't know, every Captain Beefheart first pressing on vinyl, right? Because at the end of the day, family and love is what matters. Stuff is just that. It's stuff. And I would much rather build memories with the people I love than build my vinyl collection. And that's not a slight against anybody. Everybody's got their hobbies. Heck, you could say, oh, you're trading one vice for another. You're trading baseball cards for records. Well, no, I've tuned down the amount of volume, and there's something to be said for, I think, really analyzing, why are you a collector? Are you a collector, again, because you enjoy music, or is this more of a flex? So just something to think about. It'll probably be another 5 years before I make a video. Who knows? Maybe I'll make them weekly. Probably not. But hey, those of you who have watched before, hello. Those of you who are new, hello. And those who may be the first time here, thanks for watching. And hey, Mark and Ditch and I have a podcast. That's the other thing. It's over on his YouTube page, GlassOrchidAftermath. So check that out. Check us out. It's every Tuesday evenings. And I think I can say this without any bias. It's the greatest podcast in the history of podcasts, at least according to this guy. So, hey, be safe, everybody, okay?